Good evening, guys. Now, discussion C. We're discussing senior care co-ops or cooperatives. Now, the difference between these, they're run by shared owners, and managed by home care workers, and how they can enhance quality of care. So we're going to go through that tonight for C. So please join me for tonight's presentation C. Home cooperatives for seniors. Okay, here we go. The article spotlights new research on home care cooperatives, agencies co-owned and managed by home health care workers, and how they can enhance the quality of care. Here are the key takeaways. Empowering caregivers improves care. When workers are stockholders, they tend to deliver better care. Cooperatives incorporate caregiver input into planning, boosting both their motivation and sense of responsibility. Okay. Selective hiring and thorough training matter. Choosing high performing staff and offering quality hands-on training were identified as crucial to better outcomes. Co-ownership drives engagement. Being co-owners gives workers greater investment in their roles, which may reduce turnover and improve consistency in care delivery. Led by author Dr. Jeffrey Gussoff, emphasized that these findings could translate into actionable practices across the wider home care industry, a space that often suffers from fragmented communication, limited training, and high staff turnover. Would you like to dig into how these insights could apply to Pennsylvania's caregiving landscape or Medicaid self-directed models? I'd be happy to help. Absolutely. Co-ownership in home care cooperatives delivers benefits and ripple through caregivers, clients, and the system itself. Just employees, but just employees, but co-owners. They often feel a deeper responsibility for the agency's success. This translates into higher quality, more consistent care, particularly valuable in settings where community and trust matter, reduced turnover, and better job satisfaction. Traditional home care roles can be isolating and underpaid, leading to burnout and uh, leading to burnout and attention. Co-ownership offers a sense of agency and financial stake, which can improve uh, morale and uh, retention. Key drivers to or key drivers of stable care relationships, built-in feedback loops. Caregivers in co-ops help shape operational decisions. Their firsthand experience informs policy informs policies in training, scheduling, and patient engagement. Making services more responsive to both worker and client needs. Higher standards of training and hiring. Many cooperatives emphasize peer-led uh, onboarding and selective recruitment, cultivating a culture of excellence from within rather than top down. This model aligns beautifully with your interest in person-centered planning and ethical caregiving structures. Want to explore how this could intersect with Pennsylvania's self-directed care programs or Medicaid policy innovations? I'd love to dig in. Co-ownership models like home care cooperatives don't just reshape how care is delivered, they the stability, but powerful, subtle but powerful, reshape, powerfully reshape caregiving policies themselves. Here's how. Policy emphasis on worker agencies or agency. When co-ownership proves that giving caregivers a voice leads to better outcomes, policymakers are more likely to support initiatives that prioritize worker participation. This might include funding for cooperatives, stronger labor protections, or incentives uh, led tied to worker led planning, evaluating training standards. The success of co-ops or cooperatives often hinges on rigorous peer informed training and hiring. Policymakers may respond by uh, in embedding these standards into broader regulations or linking reimbursements to training quality rather than just hours served. Incentivizing community and retention, since co-ownership reduces turnover, a major cost and risk in care delivery. This model strengthens these case for policies that reward longevity and consistency, like tied Medicaid reimbursements or caregiver career ladders. Shifting definitions of quality care. When caregivers help define and measure success, quality matrix may evolve beyond effectiveness to reflect regional person-centered care, person-centered outcomes. This can influence how agencies are evaluated and funded. In short, co-ownership nudges policy away from treating care work as interchangeable labor and toward recognizing it as skilled, relationship driven, and collaborative. That's mirrors a lot of the systematic shifts you've explored in self-directed care and personalized medicine. Want to brainstorm how this could be modeled within Pennsylvania's agency with choice or other Medicaid structures? We could sketch a hybrid proposal. Great question. Translating the ideas of co-ownership into real policy shifts takes a mix of strategic policy making, pilot programs, and public private collaboration. Here's how that often plays out in practice. State and local legislation. Some states pass laws that offer tax incentives, grants, or startup funding to support cooperative home care models. For example, New York has backed co ops. Through the Bronx Cooperative Development Initiative, tying public dollars to community rooted care, Medicaid waiver adoptions, states can tweak their Medicaid waivers to recognize home care cooperatives as valid providers types, especially under self directed services. This allows care recipients to choose co ops while giving the co op flexibility to design caregiver led governance structures, uh, contacting and procure, contacting and procurement of policies, government or managed care organizations may prioritize agencies with cooperatives or work-led models when ensuring contacts effectively shifting market initiatives toward co-ownership. Workforce workforce development alignment. Co-ops often partner with workforce boards or community colleges to deliver peer-led training that meets state credit accreditational accrediting standards. This helps uh, codify the rigorous onboarding and career leaders that co-ops are known for. Data collection and quality matrix. States can build pilot programs that measure outcomes like caregiver retention, patient satisfaction, or care community, comparing co op models to traditional ones. Evidence from these pilots helps justify broader policy reform. Want to map out how these could be piloted in Pennsylvania, making it tandem with agency with choice or community health worker initiatives. I think you're already halfway. halfway there. Several regions across the U.S. have embraced home care cooperatives through a mix of grassroots organizing, state supports, and ecosystem building. Here's how it plays out. New York, home to cooperative home care associates, the largest worker-owned cooperative in the country. CHCA has thrived over 30 years by investing in caregiver training, peer membership, and leadership development. The state has supported this model through workforce development funds and partnerships with community colleges. Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Long-Term Care Workforce Alliance has promoted worker-owned cooperatives as a strategy to stabilize the caregiving workforce. Okay. Their community guides help local coalitions launch co-ops that they've integrated cooperatives principles into long-term care planning national initiatives. The ICA group and the Cooperative Development Foundation have launched the Home Care Cooperative Initiative, which provides technical assistance, peer learning, and startup support to new co-ops. This national network helps regions replicate successful models and adapt them to local needs. Policy levers in action. Some states have used Medicaid waivers to recognize co-ops as eligible providers, while others have prioritized them in procurement. Contracts or offered tax incentives for worker-owned businesses. These examples show that success hinges on more than just policy. It's about building a supportive infrastructure that includes training, financing, and community engagement. Want to sketch out how a similar ecosystem could take root in Pennsylvania, maybe through a pilot tied to agency with choice. Community responses in home care cooperatives have generally been strongly positive, especially in areas where these models have taken root. Here's a snapshot of how different groups have reacted. Caregivers. often report greater job satisfaction, a stronger sense of purpose, and reduced burnout being co-owners. Gives them a voice in decision making and financial stake in the agency's success, something rare in traditional home care roles. Client and families appreciate the consistency and quality of care because co-ops tend to have lower turnover. Clients often build long-term relationships with caregivers, which enhances trust and community, especially important in dementia and end of life care. Local communities have embraced co ops as engines of economic empowerment in places like the Bronx and parts of Wisconsin. Cooperatives are seen not just as care providers, but as community anchors that rejuvenate, reg, reinvest in local economic economies and workforce development. Policy advocates and researchers highlight co-ops as promising models for addressing systematic issues like caregiver shortages, fragmented training, and inadequate pay. Their success stories are increasingly cited in discussions about Medicaid reforms and long-term care innovation. That said, some communities have faced startup challenges like securing funding, navigating licensing, or building trust with referral networks. But with the right support, technical assistance, peer mentorship, and policy alignment, these hurdles are often overcome. Would you like to explore how Crawford County might respond to a pilot co-op, especially given the area's strong aging services infrastructure? I think there's real potential there. Okay, guys, so that is it for tonight. I will see everybody tomorrow for shows. Till then, Gator Wellness. Take care, folks. Have a good night.